So, inspired by their experiences, I really wanted to make this video and see if I could provide some assistance for them and anybody like them, because I spend way too much of my life playing this game, and now I have a reason to share all that knowledge. So if this is ever going to load, we'll go ahead and get started with the game. I think I have some old saves that I can use to get started past the actual intro, which I love the intro, but we're going to skip to the character build part. I am going to go ahead and suggest a build now, and that is a high elf. Obviously there's different classes of characters, different races. The one that I suggest, like I said, is high elf for a beginner specifically, just because, let's see, I think I can use this one. Perfect. Alright, here we go. So. Ooh. Yeah, let's make sure I'm playing as the right person. Yeah. That's me. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start out with this high elf build. High elves are also called Altmer. They are from the Aldmeri Dominion of Somerset Isles. If you don't know the lore of this game, the Aldmeri are, well, they're high elves, which means they're snobs. So there's other types of elves, classes, wood elves, dark elves. So, yeah, we're going to pause for a second. So, other types of elves, dark elves, wood elves. There's a more complicated race of elf, which we won't go into right now. But the High Elves have basically taken over the entire continent that the Elder Scrolls universe takes place in at this point. They control the Empire, which is based in another country called Cyrodiil, and the Empire in turn controls Skyrim, the country that you're in now. There is a civil war going on, and the guy in front of you, Mr. Ulfric Stormcloak, the Jarl, or like mayor, or more like a feudal lord almost. Somewhere between a mayor and a feudal lord. I don't know if you want to make a judgment call there. He's in charge of a big city, but he's also trying to take over Skyrim with the civil war, and as his rallying cry, he's using this cause of religious oppression by the Altmeri Dominion, the High Elf Dominion. When they subdued the Empire, which controls Skyrim, they made them agree to an agreement called the White Gold Concordat, which required that they outlaw the worship of a certain deity, which is the deity of the Nords, the humans of Skyrim. So that's the context for where we're starting, and I'm going to go ahead and get started with my build, and we'll just let this play out for a couple seconds before we choose our Aldmer character, and I'll explain why. Alright, so guys in blue are Stormcloaks, they follow Ulfric Stormcloak. Guys in red are Imperial soldiers, so they are one step above Skyrim government and a step below the Aldmeri government.
Step forward.
Hi.
Who are you?
Well, I get to decide. So Nord is a Skyrim citizen. Orc are from, let's see. Oh gosh. I can't pronounce that. But anyway, Red Guards, they're from Hammerfell. Wood Elves, they're from Valenwood. Khajiit, from elsewhere. They're cat people. They have claws that they can use in combat. Imperials, if it will load, are from Cyrodiil. As we've discussed, Cyrodiil is the heart of the Empire. Their main city holds the White Gold Tower, where that peace treaty, or surrender, really, was decided upon. And they're a class of humans, high elves, which we're going to be a high elf, which I'll explain why in a moment. Dark elves from Morrowind, Bretons from High Rock, and Argonians from Black Marsh. So Argonians can breathe underwater, which is a cool feature, but I don't really see a lot of benefits to being an Argonian in this game other than that. And you can get some basically workarounds for breathing underwater that you don't need to be an Argonian for. So, High Elf. The reason I choose High Elf for a beginner is because they come equipped with extra magicka right off the bat. So their magic has a higher capacity than any of the other races, and that doesn't necessarily matter later in the game because as you level, you can choose to add more to that or to your health or to your stamina. But for a beginner, it's really useful because you have the ability to use more restoration spells right away, which is important because if you are new at this and you're not used to the controls and the playthrough style, you're going to take a lot of damage. So it's always good to have that. Also, very important, in this playthrough I'm going to use a particular, I don't want to say Easter egg or cheat, somewhere between an Easter egg and a cheat. It's a workaround that you can only use if you're a High Elf, and it makes a particular part of the main quest line super simple in comparison to what it would be. It's about 10 times easier if you're a High Elf and you do the things that I'm going to show you in just a little bit. But we're going to choose our High Elf, and I'm just going to choose the preset here, and I'm going to name him something that is really ironic and a slap in the face to High Elves, but you are not going to understand what that means. Alright.
You are not with the Thalmor embassy, are you, High Elf?
Oh,
No.
Thalmor are
That can't
the
be right.
enforcers of the Aldmeri
Captain,
Dominion.
what should
They
we do?
enforce
He's not on the list.
ban on the worship
Forget the
of the
list. He
deity
goes to the
Talos.
block.
By your orders, Captain. I'm sorry.
Alright.
We'll make sure your remains are returned to the Somerset Isle. Follow the captain.
Well, that's very nice of
prisoner.
you. Okay. Alright. So there's going to be some dialogue here, which I should have probably turned down the
Ulfric
sound
Stormcloak.
for so we could explain.
Some here
but
in Helgen call you a hero, but a hero doesn't use a power
This guy
like
over
yours
here?
to murder his king and usurp his throne.
yeah, he did that. He started the war that way. He's
You
such a
started
douche.
this war,
Ugh.
plunged
Sorry.
Skyrim
I don't like the
into chaos,
Stormcloaks. They're
and
just
now the Empire is going
not
to
nice
put
people.
you down
I'm-
and
well,
restore
some of them are,
the
but
peace.
the leaders of the Stormcloaks, not nice people. But this guy over here in the red, he
It's nothing.
is in
Carry
charge of
on.
the entire Imperial
Yes,
Legion in
General
Skyrim.
Tullius. Give them their last rites.
As we commend your souls to Aetherius,
And there's a priestess.
blessings of the eight divines upon
For
you.
the love of Talos, shut up and let's get this over.
Learn our, as you wish.
So if you include Talos, there's actually 9 divines,
Come on!
but
I
nobody's
haven't
allowed to
got
say
all
that
morning.
anymore because of Thalmor, who will kill you if you even suggest that maybe
My
it's not a bad idea to
ancestors
worship
smiling
Talos.
at me,
You don't even have to
Imperials.
admit to it yourself.
You say the
All you gotta
same.
do is ask, what's wrong with worshipping Talos? And they'll kill you. So, definitely some bad people on both sides of this war, but I just really hate the Stormcloaks, so I always choose to be an Imperial, but you don't have to do anything about that yet. That's just my own personal rant.
Next, the High
Good for
Elf.
him. He's dead. Doesn't matter. Gee, I wonder what that could be.
Did you hear that?
I said next prisoner.
To the block, prisoner.
Yep,
Nice
that'd be
and
me.
easy.
I wish you could get this outfit. That outfit's pretty cool. Executioner outfit, that is. A lovely view of a severed head. And now,
Oblivion is that?
Sentry. What do you
this
see?
dragon is going to save me. But he's not saving me on purpose. He's just attacking. Well, that was loud. So, this is the introduction to the tutorial level. If you can still hear me, I know it's loud. Alright, so I'm going to follow this Stormcloak guy. I can't do anything, can't pick up anything, can't fight,
What
my
is
hands
that
are
thing?
bound,
The
so
legends be true.
Legends don't
just so you
burn
know,
down
that's why I'm not doing anything right now. so we're gonna go ahead and walk up the tower, and when we get to the point where we can talk about developing your character or leveling, we'll get to that in a moment. When you get to the top tier, back up immediately. So I'm gonna go up here, and then right back down. And that's why. Alright, so he flies away. Don't step in the flames. Flames can do damage. Okay. So,
In on the other
your
side.
next thing is...
Jump through the roof and keep going.
Alright. Jump. Okay, so I got a little bit of flame. So, if you're on the Xbox, Y to jump. I know your controls might be different.
That a boy.
So now we're going to follow this guy, who is an Imperial. I'm going to move...
Everyone get back! Still alive, prisoner? Keep close to me if you want to stay that way. Gunnar,
Okay.
take care of the boy.
Sounds good.
I have to find General Tullius and join the defense. God's guide you, Helvar.
Y to jump. Good to know.
Stay close to the wall!
And most of this is pretty boring right here. So bear with me till we get to the interesting
Quickly,
part.
follow me!
And so we're going to follow that bar over here.
It's you and me, prisoner. Stay close.
Yep, and just scoot over. You're not actually hurt. Don't worry, that's supposed to happen. Don't mind me, my voice is just hoarse because I'm talking. I don't have the COVID. Oh, and there I'm knocked over again. Oh, he has ice arrows. Alright, so here is where you make your decision. You can change later on which alliance you have, but right now, whether or not you decide to be a Stormcloak later, I think it's wise to follow him because of the immediate benefits it gets you, and if you really want to join the Stormcloaks, which is a bad idea, you can do it later.
Looks like we're the only ones who
All
made
right.
it. Was
So,
that really a
I'm
dragon?
just gonna unlock
Bring
my
us to the
vines,
end
and then we're
times?
gonna go over exactly
We should keep moving.
what to do
Come here.
to make the
Let me
most
see
of
if I
this
can get those
tutorial level.
bindings off.
Alright, move off.
There you go.
Thank you.
Take a look.
So, press A to open containers. So, we're just here to get gear. So right now, I have no weapons.
Look around.
I am wearing rags. So, I need some armor and weapons. So, in this wooden chest, we've got all of these. I'm going to press X to take all.
Give that sword a few swings, too.
Also, I'm going to pick up this
Let's
wine.
keep moving. That thing is still
Excuse me.
out there.
Food in this game is not worth much for healing, but at this point, because you have no money or experience, it's going to have a good resale value for you. So I'm going to pick up these swords, and this chest has helmet and gold, so that's good. And let's see, I think that's everything that I want in here. I'm going to go ahead and, oh wait, definitely want to pick this up. Alright, I don't think that's a skill book. No. Okay. Is there anything here? So some books, when you pick them up, they will automatically up your skill, and that's not one of them. But we'll come across some soon. So the first thing I'm going to do is equip my items, because we're about to get into our first fight. I don't have anything on my hands right now, so no gloves or bracers yet, but we'll get some. And I'm going to equip this sword in my right hand. And I have magic. So this is my special power, which I'm not going to use at this moment. That helps you regenerate your magic faster than normal, or faster than any other race would be able to just to magically conjure that up right away. So what I want to do now is I think I'm going to equip flames just so that I can start building my destruction magic. Whatever you use now is going to immediately build into a higher level skill. So my recommendation is to do everything, use everything, pick up not everything, but a lot of items that can help you later, even if it's just something that you could sell. So I'm going to start out with this because I want to build destruction, if you're insecure about that, maybe try using healing so that you can learn how to use restoration right away. Alright, so I'm gonna just sneak, which is pressing the left stick on the Xbox. Even though I'm not gonna stay hidden, but
Hear that?
I want to get a jump on
Maybe we can
sneaking.
reason with them.
This character that I'm building right now is going to be very heavily
Hold
based
on
on
now.
sneak.
What
It's
do
my
you
favorite
want? Do you want to
playstyle,
die? So
and
be it.
it's kind of cheesy, I guess, for some people. It's like a joke that everybody wants to be a sneaky archer, but honestly, it's very effective. You become very powerful very quickly, and that's why it's good for a beginner. So, we're going to learn how to do that. Alright, so I got this one. Alright. Oh, I'm sorry. Oops. I hit my friend by accident. My bad. Wasn't paying enough attention. But hey, destruction magic. That's nice. Alright, so I'm not going to pick this up. And let me explain why. So, this is a two-handed weapon. And I will use swords and axes, but not two-handed ones in this playthrough. I find that because they move faster, one-handed swords and axes are better. Maces are also one-handed weapons, but they're a little clumsier, take more stamina, they're slower. So I would stay with a sword or an axe, and then you can wield magic in your other hand. For me, I always use the weapon in the right hand, the magic in the left hand. And this, it does have some resale value, but if you look at the weight compared to the value, it's not enough of a difference for me. So it's like, you know, if you divide the value by the weight, you get somewhere just above like 3. And my rule is if you divide the value by the weight, the higher that number is, the more you want to put that in your inventory. If it's low, it's probably not worth picking up unless it's something that you can use or need. So, I mean, I will probably pick up, I guess, some of these. That's not worth it. I don't have anything on my hands right now, so I'm going to pick up some gauntlets. Okay, yeah, I want to. If I press the right trigger, I can automatically put that in my inventory and equip it. I'm going to leave those boots. And then I'm going to put on these gauntlets because I don't have any. I'm going to drop these foot wraps. Now, you'll see that these have low weight and low value. That basically means you're not going to get any money for them if you try to sell them, because vendors will only pay a certain amount for certain items, and they're always going to pay less than what the item is worth. So usually if something has a value of 1, you want to drop it. There is an exception to that, which I'll discuss later, but I'm going to go ahead and drop these items. And I guess, let me just make sure I've searched everybody. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to take this. I don't use shield very often, but it's good to have one in your inventory.
Let's
Alright.
go.
I just so you know, I sneak a lot, and that's just because the more you use it, the more it's gonna level up, and we're gonna use sneak a lot, so we might as well get good at it. Alright, and here we're going to have, in just a moment, our second fight. So if you'll notice, it's giving me the option of
Frank doesn't
pickpocketing.
give up
If I
easy.
click on him, he can't be
What are you
pickpocketed.
doing?
And that's not something you want to do right now anyway.
These Imperials have potions in here.
We'll talk about that in another video. Alright, so yeah, they can see me, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit up here and...
Mercy!
Can block, but I'm not going to. Alright.
Just a scratch.
See? Leveling already. Okay, yeah, I'm using too many power attacks, which is draining my stamina. Power attack, you just hold down the button longer in order to do.
An old story.
If you just
See
hit
if
it
you can find
lightly
some
once,
potions.
it'll be a
Might come in
faster
handy.
attack that doesn't take stamina like a power attack does. So I'm going to take this Curus. I'm going to put back that weapon that I accidentally picked up. Let's see. Okay, so there's some good stuff over here. A magic potion. I would say healing potions and magic potions are best saved for combat situations when you are surrounded or you're just really getting beat up really bad. If you have the opportunity, even in a combat situation, to back up and heal yourself with magic, that's preferential, but it's not always easy to do that as a beginner. So try to save those potions, because when you need them, you really need them. So I'm gonna go ahead and head up here. So is there anything? I thought there was something up here. I guess not. Must have been my imagination. Alright, so we've got a potion here. Oh wait, did I... This is where I'm supposed to go. Alright, so take all of those. And then follow
Young man,
old Hadvar.
this way.
Alright.
The torture room. Gods, I wish we didn't need these. Hear that?
Maybe you don't. So, a spoiler alert, there's a lot of moral complexity to this game, which you're you will kind of give up on, because it's more fun to play as a bad character. But still, I just keep it in mind that there's going to be some negatives to any double-sided conflict where, you know, whether that be Stormcloaks and Imperials,
You fellows happened
or
along just in time.
anybody, honestly.
These boys seemed a bit upset at how I've been entertaining their comrades.
Don't you even know what's going on? A dragon.
Alright, so I'm gonna take all of this. I'm gonna take this and sell it. Okay. You could read this whole thing, but short story is there are these people who are blessed by the dragon god Akatosh with the blood of dragons. They have special blessings. One of them is the ability to use a dragon shout. And shout is just the language of dragons that they speak. This book isn't really worth much. And with that being said,
I said the keep is under attack.
there hasn't been one for a very long
I'll come
time.
with you. Wait a
And
second.
for a long
Looks like
time,
there's
the
something in this
emperors
cage.
of
Don't
Cyrodiil
bother with that.
were
Lost the key ages ago.
Dragonborn. They were one specific line.
See if you can get it
The
open
start
with
of that
some
line
hits.
was Tiber
We'll need everything we
Septim, who
can
was
get.
better known as Talos. He's a man who
Take all
was
my
deified
things.
into godhood. And that's why the elves don't like
what you
him,
can and
because
let's
all
go.
the other gods basically fit into the narrative that elves are better than everyone. Elves are supposed to be descended from Akatosh, and they think they're better for it, and they don't like having humans worship a human that later became a god. It's too dangerous for them. So that's the start of this whole conflict. If you've been following all of that, I know it's confusing, but that's the backstory. All right, so I don't need to sneak here. I'm not stealing. Okay, so I'm gonna save. Just go over this autosave and unlock this. Okay, so lockpicking. Yeah, we're gonna rotate this with our left stick, and then basically what you're doing with this is you're trying to find the spot where it has give. So this one has some give right here, but it started wiggling a little bit before I turn the right stick completely. That tells me it's gonna break if I keep pushing. So I'm gonna move this a little bit to the right. One way that you can measure how far you're moving, especially for the more difficult locks, because this is the easiest type of lock that they have, is to look at the very end of the lockpick outside of the lock. So that can show you very minuscule differences in how far you've moved it, and that can help with some of the more difficult locks. But anyway, gonna go ahead and do that because there's some great stuff in here. So gold, magic potions. This guy is a mage, or was a mage, and so he's wearing these mage clothes, which are worth a fair amount. They have a really good resale value. They're not so great for you right now. They're not going to provide you any armor, and your magic is basically crap at this point. Even with extra enchantments, it's not going to help you very much. Magic is not the best build in this game. It doesn't work too well. So I would advise using magic as a supplement to your other combat style. I am going to go ahead and unlock this cage as well, just because I want to up my lockpicking skill, because like I said, you got to use it or else you will never get it leveled up. Alright, let's try over here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, So there are actually a few doors down here that you can lockpick. I would highly recommend doing that. One of them has some gold in it, but the other ones are just practice. There we go. Yay! So I'm getting really close to being level 2 already, and we haven't even left the tutorial level. So, like I said,
Battle
do
down here
everything,
for now.
use everything. Oh, well, that was lame. Good job. Alright, there we go. Alright, so let's pick up this. Skeletons often carry gold for some unknown reason. But I'm going to take the bone meal. That is an alchemy ingredient, which you can use to make potions later. So if you see an alchemy ingredient, which I will identify for you, I would go ahead and pick it up for now, because that's a skill we're going to build later. And let's see. Nothing over here. I want to make sure that you search everything.
Come on, hurry up.
Alright. As much gold as possible. So, if you took a look at my assessment earlier
This way.
about picking up items, things that are worth more and way less are better. Gold is not worth a lot by itself, but it doesn't weigh anything. So if you try to divide 1 by 0, you can't do that, because 1 is, you could say, infinitely larger than 0. I know that's not technically mathematically true for all you math nerds, but that's how I determine in this game things that have no weight but do have value. They're infinitely valuable because they don't take up your inventory space, because it is limited. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and fight these guys. And so you're being shot at with arrows, so keep in mind you might want to dodge a little bit. Also, if you find any arrows on the ground, pick them up. Arrows also don't weigh anything, so in some ways you could technically say that they are infinitely valuable, but these ones are so cheap that at this point nobody's going to buy them from you for money. If you develop your speech skill enough, which you will, you can eventually sell them for like 1 gold, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you pick up a lot of free arrows in this game. And if you save them up after a while, you could just walk into some sort of trader and get hundreds or thousands of gold for something that didn't take up any space in your inventory. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get over here. Take that. And run over here, and then I'm going to set this on fire, because that is a pile of oil. Just hurt myself and my friend. Good job. Alright, I'm going to use restoration here. And heal myself. Build up the restoration skill. That's always good. And then I'm going to use... Let's see. Alright, iron arrow. And then a longbow. I'm going to go ahead and equip this. And the iron arrow. And start shooting. This guy is a very easy target. He's just fighting somebody right in front of you. Great way to practice archery. Archery levels by doing damage. So this archery, I'm not gonna lie, it's a skill that takes a while to develop, but it is the fastest track to being overpowered, or OP as we say. Yeah, that's sellable.
Let's see if we can find a way out.
And it's my favorite playstyle, because once you develop it, it's like, I wouldn't say you're unstoppable, but your life gets a little bit easier.
Let's see what this is.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and save before we keep going. I save a lot, so be sure to manage your saves, because you can run out of space there too. And I have definitely had so many saves for so many different playthroughs that I've had to take a concerted effort to delete them. But make sure that you keep recent saves if you think that you might need to go back to them to fix a glitch or something like that. That's secret. Oh wait, it's over here. There's a little bit, it's not really secret, but it's easy to miss, this little area in here. There's no villains or anything, but there is minor loot. But at this point, hey, loot is loot. You have no skills, no money. Take what you can get. Alright.
Don't fall behind.
Okay, we're gonna sneak through here. Because And make sure that you stop over here because there's a coin purse.
I guess we'd better try this way.
Alright. Try this way. And this is a sneaky situation. So, you have two options here. Oh, my sneak up. Okay. Oh, wait. I'm not at the spot I thought I was at, but this is an important spot, too. Alright, so we're going to let him run ahead for a second here. Give me just a sec. Sorry about that. Alright, so here we go. Draw your bow and stand back, and let's work on this because these guys they'll shoot poison, so it's better to use a ranged weapon. Magic can work well as a range fight style, but okay, so yeah. Oftentimes when you enter a room, spiders will come down from the ceiling. If you don't like spiders, I'm sorry. It's just part of the deal. I would not take on one of these alone at this point in the game, just because. So yeah, standing back and shooting arrows and not being detected will really help you out in the long run. Hey, there was a gemstone. Gemstones are great. So I'm picking up this because it's the best poison that you could get for free at this point in the game. So, dang, this is good loot from spiders. Usually they have kind of crap loot. Alright, so I think there's something up on that ledge. Also, these pods, the ones that are open, have spider eggs in them, and that's oh, skeever tail, that's an alchemy ingredient. Spider's eggs are alchemy ingredients. Sometimes those web stacks will have human in them, and they'll have coin and stuff like that, but for now, we're just working on getting some of this spider egg alchemy stuff. I don't know why I thought that there was something up here. I'm thinking of somewhere else. Oh well. So, yeah, I've got all those. Okay. Wait, maybe it's up here. Oh yeah, it's up here. There we go. An iron mace, which I actually don't want. So that's not that great. Okay. Like I said, maces are slower, so I'd recommend sticking with a war axe or a sword. And then we'll go down here. Yay! Now, we're about to get into a part... Oh! That's where it is. That's what I'm thinking of. We're about to get into a part that does involve some sneak as well. If you do it right, you can get both sneak and archery build up from this. Okay, there's up here. Or did I imagine that? No, nothing up there. Okay. Just exploring is pretty much always a good option. If you get into a situation via exploring that you can't deal with,
I'd rather
there's a bear, so don't move very fast.
You might be able to
Moving
sneak
slowly
by.
helps you
Just
sneak
take it nice and
more.
slow, and watch where you step.
You can sneak by if you
Or
want
if you're
to,
feeling
but I'm
lucky,
gonna go ahead
you can
and
take this boat. Might take it by surprise.
shoot it.
Go ahead. I'll follow
Sneak
your lead
attacks
and
do
watch your
extra
back.
damage, so
Not the sneaking type, huh?
and shot first. If the bear sees you first, it will attack you first since you're the one who did the damage. But thankfully, my lovely friend ran in the way. I can sell that. I won't use it, but I can sell it. Okay. Yay, a coin first. So, okay. I need to stop sneaking now. I'm sure there's some loot around here that I'm missing, but I always check these ledges. I don't know why. And I think I've actually checked all the ones that actually have loot. So we are almost outside of this cavern, which is technically the end of the tutorial level, I guess. But you will still be learning skills and things in the next sort of part of the game,
This
which
looks
we'll
like
get
the
to
way
in
out.
just a moment.
I was starting to wonder if we'd ever
So
make it.
I'm gonna keep sneaking because there will be some animals and people once you get outside that you might want to avoid. All right, to Skyrim. Okay. All Alright,
Wait.
so look up. Oh, there he goes. Alright, so I'm gonna stand up and
A
talk to
dragon.
Hadbar.
First in a looks like he's gone for good this time. But I don't think
Okay, so
better down here. The closest town from here is Riverwood. My uncle's a blacksmith there. I'm sure he'd help you out. It's probably best if we split up. Good luck. I wouldn't have made it
So
without your help.
Alvor is
today.
his uncle. He's also the blacksmith, which is why I recommend following him because he has a lot of nice stuff that you can take without having to steal it, which is a big benefit at this point. I do want to teach you to steal, but just an FYI. Oh, I'm going somewhere else for some extra little things that I'll show you in a moment. But stealing, you need a fence in order to sell stolen goods. Now, you can steal things and then use them, or craft them into something else that's not considered stolen, but you want to be careful with what you pick up. That may just be bulk in your inventory for no reason. I'm gonna head down here. There's a little cave that's got a special little skill book around here. Oh, wolf time. Alright. I don't know if I avoided that or not. I'm doing pretty good with sneaking in this playthrough. If you go around, there's a little fire area. I'm gonna save because even if your sneak is really good right now, you're gonna get attacked in a little bit. Not worth it. I'll take that. That's an alchemy ingredient. You can tell by the 4 little slots underneath. This is a skill book, so that's great. So take these boots, unlock this chest. And I'm not gonna head that way because there's bandits. Okay, so run this way. Yeah, that's my secret, is just when you can't fight them, run away. And it really works. Okay, so there's another spot that I'm looking for here that is specifically useful to you as a high elf. I told you that there's not exactly a cheat, but something that's very useful for making the main quest line a specific, very crucial part of the main quest line for making it easier. So I'm actually going to have to turn over here left a little bit to the west to get to this spot, but it's a really beneficial beneficial place to go. So I would just go back to sneaking because once you get far enough away and you start sneaking, they're not going to chase you anymore because they can't see you. And being detected and then going into sneak can help up your sneak. So that's good. I'm probably going to get attacked by wolves any minute because that just happens a lot in the wild, but you're going to have to learn to deal with that. As you can see, I favor the bow because I'm so used to it. I would recommend practicing a lot, but if you're in a close combat situation, especially as a beginner, it's not the best option because you'll get killed real fast because you don't know what you're doing. So I would use a melee, so a sword for if you're attacked, or a war axe. I'm going to go with the war axe because it's stronger, but it's still relatively fast. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Also, I think I'm going to look at my armor. So Iron Helmet technically has the most protection. You can tell that by the fact that it has the triangle next to it. However, it's a heavy armor, and that will slow you down, take more stamina, make you more easy to detect when you're trying to sneak. So I am going to keep my Imperial Light Helmet on. And, okay, let's see. Oh, excuse me, what this guy has. Nothing interesting. So there's something very important over here, like I said. I'm going to go ahead, and these guys don't have anything. But I am going to go up here because there's some coins lying around. Like I said, coins are infinite value. This is a shrine. It will heal all your diseases and give you a special blessing. But we don't even have the capacity to use that blessing right now, so it's not really any point to using it, but it doesn't cost anything, so... Ooh, magic! Okay. Alright, so this is... Oh, my sneak increased. There must be somebody nearby. That's slightly disconcerting, but this guy is a Thalmor soldier. So as I said before, if you didn't catch it, the Thalmor are the enforcers of the Aldmeri Dominion. They will go throughout Skyrim hunting down anybody who worships Talos. And they rightly recognize it as a threat to their dominion because Ulfric is using the traditional worship of Talos as a rallying point to fight the Empire, even though that law is imposed on the Empire by the Aldmeri Dominion and not by the Empire itself. You'll find out a little bit more about that later. But, let's see, he's got a good potion. This is an enchanted item, which is great. I don't use heavy armor or shields very much. But this is actually really nice, and because you're only going to use it in a combat situation where you've been spotted and you don't have to sneak, it might actually be useful, so I'm going to keep that. And even if I didn't keep it, I would sell it. But here's just a little note about him hunting down Talos worshippers. And it's signed by Elenwen, who is in charge of the Thalmor in Skyrim. So I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to take these robes. The robes are the reason I'm here. Hooded Thalmor robes are hard to find. I think this is the only place in the game that you can get them without killing someone. It's very important to have those to use that cheat. Regular Thalmor robes that don't have hoods won't work. It has to be hooded Thalmor robes. So definitely pick that up if you're following along. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just start running. Let's see, what difficulty am I playing on? You can adjust the difficulty in the settings. I should probably mention that if you don't already know. I'm sure you do know. So, am I playing master difficulty? Okay, legendary difficulty, I don't recommend because even for somebody like me who loves Skyrim and plays obsessively all the time, it's just not fun anymore. It's like struggling to breathe. It's not fun. So I'm gonna go back to master. But whatever difficulty you need, just do it. And once you feel like that's gotten easy, and you'll be able to tell, move up. Alright, so, okay, I'm gonna keep going. Actually, I should probably save. You can use a quick save, but that will get overwritten each time you quick save again. So if it's a particularly important point that you may have to go back to because of a glitch, or you did something stupid, or you're fighting a bad guy in an unbeatable situation and you need to get out of that, I would go ahead and make a real save. So I'm going to go down here towards this marker that's very close. As you can see, it's getting brighter on my screen. These are standing stones. And this particular... Oh, look how pretty it is. That's so beautiful. Oh, I wish I could go to Skyrim. I'm going to take a screenshot. That's beautiful. Alright, so these help with your ability. So let's take a look at this one. This is for combat skills. We're going to use enough combat that I'm not too concerned about that right away. Mage is for learning magic skills faster. I mean, that's nice, but magic just does not give you the power that you need without mods for the game. And we're playing unmodded Skyrim right now. It does have all of the DLCs, which are official content from Bethesda, that have some extra storylines to them, but we don't have any mods, which are made by fans, that would make magic a real viable option for becoming super powerful in this game. You've got to use either stealth or just like brute combat. So I'm going to go for stealth, and I would recommend that you do it too. It's going to make your life a lot easier as a beginner, but you will have to practice a couple things, archery being one of them, and also lockpicking especially. Sneak will naturally happen if you just use it, but there's a bit of just actual physical skill, and there's a reason I'm sneaking here. There's a bit of physical skill required just to do lockpicking or archery. But, spoiler alert, archery and lockpicking, you absolutely must do to just play the game. Like, they're essential parts of the game. If you want to fight dragons, gotta have a good archery skill. So you might as well just start learning it right now. You want to get loot. I've been spotted by wolves. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and get my restoration because I'm probably gonna be attacked by 3 wolves. I would say once you see them, just run towards them because they've already seen you. They're so close. And it doesn't give them a chance to sneak up on you. Once they notice you, they'll circle around and get you from behind. And then you're kind of screwed. But lockpicking, you're going to need to work on if you ever want to get any loot. Oh, butterfly. You can catch butterflies. Their wings are an alchemy ingredient. I know you probably don't want to kill any butterflies if you're like me, but still, great alchemy ingredient. So you'll see some flowers along the way that you can pick up, fruits, things like that. These red ones, red mountain flower, are great for poisons. We'll go over alchemy in more detail in a later stream, but for now, thistle is kind of a lame ingredient. You can sell it, but it's hardly worth anything, and I don't like using it. Purple mountain flower, that's this right here, don't use it very much. Blue mountain flower is great because it makes a healing potion. And I'm just gonna go ahead and run toward the town. Now this town is a part of the larger hold of Winterhold. The capital of Winterhold is also called Winterhold. Just to make things confusing. Alright. Whatever you do, don't kill a chicken.
What's going on? And who's this?
He's a friend. Saved
And
my
every
life,
day we
my
get
friend.
visitors
Come
in
on, I'll
Riverwood.
explain everything, but we need to go inside.
Okay, okay, come
I'm
inside.
gonna explain more when
Sigrid
we go
will get you
inside.
something to eat.
I am actually going to do a tiny bit of stealing in this house. If you want to go ahead and work along with me for your playthrough, this is a great time to start that because everyone is going to be distracted and nobody's going to be following you around. Oftentimes, if you're in a shop and you're trying to steal, they'll follow you around if you go into another room. But here, they're involved in a quest-related conversation, which is not that important, not gonna lie. So, she's gonna go upstairs, and I'm gonna go downstairs and steal a very specific item or two. So, she's going up there. I'm gonna steal this potion.
Hadvar,
Those are great.
we've been so worried.
I'm gonna steal
about
this
you.
axe.
You two must be hungry. Sit down and I'll get you something
Nothing
to
good
eat.
in there. This hunting bow is
then,
better than the longbow that I am
what's the
carrying
big
right
mystery?
now. So,
What are
like
you
I said,
doing here,
archery.
looking
We're gonna
like you
work on
lost
that.
an argument with a
Archery
caveman?
with sneak
I don't
gives
know where to
you
start. You know, what's the
extra
sign?
power. Ooh,
Let's go.
oh no, not a Horker
We will
test.
stop
That's
in
what I'm
heaven
looking for.
when we were attacked.
In
By
a
a
later
dragon.
video, not too far from now,
dragon?
I'm gonna want a
That's
mammoth test, but
ridiculous.
that's not what that is.
You aren't drunk,
Okay.
are you, boy?
Husband.
He's
let
telling
tell
him
a
about the
story.
dragons, and he's not believing them.
Not
See how
much
this
more
is
to tell.
stealing
This
if I try
dragon flew
to
over
click
and
on
just
it? That
wrecked the
red.
whole place.
So
Mass
if
confusion.
anybody catches you stealing,
I don't know if
you
anyone else
usually get
got out
arrested.
alive. I doubt
At this
I made it
beginning
out
stage of the
myself
game,
if
you
not
won't
for
get
my friend
arrested.
here.
Everyone will just try
I
to
need to
murder
get
you.
back to Solitude and let them know what's happened.
There's a reason for that
I thought you
related
could
to
help
fast
us out.
traveling.
Food, supplies, a place to stay.
Kind of hard to explain if you don't know how this works,
course.
but just
Any friend of Hadvar's
don't
is a
get
friend
caught
of mine.
right now.
Glad to help
Don't get caught at
however I
all,
can.
but especially not right now.
Like I said,
Alright.
but I need...
Alright, so he says take whatever you need within reason. I'm gonna take everything that he's offering me because he won't stop you. And this is great for if you're making stuff. Smithing is a skill you can build. And then there's a silver garnet
The
ring,
Jarl
which is great
needs
for
to know
selling.
there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is
Okay.
defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruff in Whiterun to send whatever soldiers
Alright.
he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your
Sure,
debt.
sounds good. Alright.
I see the grind. If you've got the raw materials, you can use the forge to make something new.
So now that I've spoken with
All
them,
right then.
they'll let me take a lot of their stuff. Some of this
Well,
is
I
alchemy
bet
ingredients,
you
some of
never
it's
were.
just
You two
pretty
make
much
yourselves
useless,
at
but you
home.
can try to resell it. Garlic is an alchemy ingredient. And these dried herbs are as well.
You lost?
Cheese. Cheese is
It's
just
nice to
too
be back in a
heavy
friendly spot.
and doesn't really provide you with a lot of benefit. Okay, so I'm gonna take the gold.
Listen, I'm going to lay up here
Did
for
you
a while.
really see a
You
dragon?
can make your own way to
We'd
Solitude
really like to
from
pick
here.
up that
Be
garnet,
careful.
I'd
but
recommend heading to Whiterun, just down the road from here. From there you can take a carriage to Solitude.
yeah, my sneak's not good enough to steal from this. Oh, maybe it is. Yay! I did not get caught. That was amazing. Like I said, you shouldn't, in general, steal stuff that you cannot sell again, but that's light enough that I can keep it in my inventory until I can make a relationship with a fence who buys stolen goods. But you have to be involved with a Thieves Guild to do that,
Take
which
what
will
you need,
happen
my
later,
friend.
but we're going to have to develop some skill before that can happen. Alright, so he will let you take this dagger. He will let you take the boots. That's stealing. He'll let you take these. And we're not going to use them yet. I am going to keep them in my inventory so that we can learn to smith in the next town. So I'm going to go in here. You need this. Need to go in here for a major quest point. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here. It's also a great place to sell off the
One of
stuff
us
that
has
you're
to
not
do
going to use.
something.
I said
right.
no. No adventure? Yeah, well, I don't know. We
Alright,
did
tell me
have
what's going on, dude.
an ornament, solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw. You could?
I'll get it for you.
Got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. Now, if you're going to get those thieves,
Alright.
you should head to Bleak Falls Barrow, northeast of town.
Okay.
Yes.
That's going to be an
So now
important
you don't have to
location
go,
for
do
you.
you?
But we're not going to
Sooner
head
you-
there just yet.
Trinkets,
So
odds
I'm
and
gonna
ends,
just
that sort of
see
thing.
what he has that I might need. He's got some arrows and weapons, but they're mostly what I've already got. So I'm going to sell my swords because I'm using a war axe right now. It's not showing up in my inventory when I shop because it's stolen. I have a better bow, so I'm going to sell all of these. I'm going to keep all of my arrows. Sell these daggers. And I'm going to keep the axe because I can use that later. This is useless. Useless. Keep that. Keep the Thalmor stuff. I'm going to sell all the heavy armor except for this shield because I won't use it. That ring. All of these. I'll keep those. I'm going to sell all of the food because food is pretty much useless in this game. And all my ingredients are really nice. I'm going to keep all of those. I'm going to keep that. I need to read it in order to learn the spell. You have to read a book to learn the spell, but the book is immediately destroyed. So I'm going to sell this. This is just a fun souvenir, so I'll just give it up. Don't need that. Don't need that. Yeah, don't need any of that. That's not worth anything anyway. So I'm going to keep the ingots because they're crafting materials. And the bear pelt, I'll keep that. Let's see. Oh, soul gem. I don't have enough money for this. Soul gems we'll learn about later. Let's see. Under books, he should have these. Clairvoyance is a spell that's supposed to show you to your current goal. It's pretty much useless. Yeah. Honestly, there's not much in here that I think would be worth getting.
Don't let my
Except
sister do anything
maybe-
foolish.
Maybe the frostbite one, but I don't think you should spend money on that just yet. And we'll explain a little bit more about magic later. Like I said, this is stuff that you don't need to know right now. We just want to focus on the basics of using skills, getting familiar with the territory, things like shopping, how to pick up stuff without people hating you. If you're friends with someone, they'll usually let you take a lot of their stuff for free as long as it's not too expensive, as we went over before. And gone over kind of the context of the war. This is the 4th era of history in this universe. We're going to get attacked by wolves in just a moment. Or a wolf, at least. The 4th era in history. The 3rd era ended when the last descendant of Talos or Tiber Septim was assassinated. And, well, not exactly. The last descendant of Talos died. We'll just say that. If you know anything about the past history, you'll know a little bit more than that. But spoiler alert, it was Sean Bean. But that was the end of the third era. The fourth era involved the Great War, which was the part where the Aldmeri Dominion conquered all of Cyrodiil and their empire. So, let's see. I'm just walking down this road. This is going to take me to Whiterun, which is our next location. Okay, so here we have some Imperial soldiers with a prisoner. They'll get mad at you if you try to talk to them too much, or if you dare let the prisoner
Imperial
escape.
business. Be on your way.
Okay. So I have not joined the Imperial Legion simply by siding with Hadvar so far. He's encouraged me to, but I still have the option of joining the Stormcloaks instead. Okay, so these floating creatures are also alchemy ingredients. Ugh. I want that moth. Too far away. Those are kind of hard to find. Luna moths I find in this game. I mean, I guess they're not hard to find, but you don't come across them without looking for them. So here's a nice little location that you can fast travel to. Anytime you discover a location, it is available for fast travel. And let's see. Oh, look. Some more night flying creatures. I'm gonna get out my bow because there's gonna be a fight going on up here. And I don't have to take any damage. I don't have to really get involved. But if I shoot one arrow at this bad guy, I develop a nice relationship with some people that will lead to me being involved in a faction helpful later. Also, doing damage, building up your archery skills, and it's an easy thing. Building up those skills. So good for you. Yeah, see how slow it is for me to try to kill him on my own? That is going to be something that you don't want to try to do, killing a giant
You
by
handle
yourself for quite
well.
a while.
You could make for a decent shield, brother.
Mm-hmm.
An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions?
Oh, look at that pretty
An
mill.
order of warriors. We are brothers and
Yeah.
sisters in honor.
They're pretty cool.
And we show up
I
to solve
enjoy their
problems
quest
if
line.
the coin is good enough. Not for me to say. The old man's... If you go to him, good luck.
So somebody else will decide if I'm allowed to join the companions. Right, so here's a farm. A little tidbit for later. If the farmer is outside, he's in his locked house right now, but in the daytime, if the farmer's outside, you can pick his vegetables. It's not considered stealing, and then you can sell them right back to him for money. It's not a fast way to earn money, in the sense of earning a lot of money, but it's fast in the fact that it requires like 0 effort. But 0 effort, almost 0 money. So, alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and discover these stables, which are just right outside the front door of Whiterun. I haven't technically discovered Whiterun yet. So what I'm gonna do before I do that is actually fast travel to some places via carriage. Like I said, you can't fast travel anywhere without discovering it yet, except if you ride a carriage. Carriage will take you to any of the major cities, or at least to the stables outside of them. And that will save you time later, so that you don't have to run all over the entire country trying to get places. It makes things a little bit faster.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
So, I have enough money to do this, so I'm gonna go ahead
Climb
and
back and we'll
go
be
to all
off.
the major cities.
Not on the wind, you'll have stories to tell. Good hunt ahead of
Come up
us.
to your Vaster.
Oh, there
Oh,
once was a
right.
hero named Ragnar, the red who came riding to Whiterun from old Rorix.
I love the tavern songs in this game. They're really fun. So, alchemy, we'll get to that later. We've already picked up some ingredients. And, like I said, I'm going to do some videos later. Before I end this video, I am going to use some perk points, just so that you know a little bit about how that works if you haven't learned already. I have to walk forward for me to discover this, and then we're good. And the carriage is not here, but I can fast travel back to the stables at Whiterun, which are pretty much south of where Dawnstar is. Dawnstar is a city by the water. And let's see. I would not recommend exploring these cities right now because you're going to get embroiled in quests and get a little bit stimulated with things to do and people to talk to. I would recommend just getting these places traveled to is all I'm doing here. If you do go into any of the cities, the one you don't want to go into right now
Where do you want to go?
is Markarth.
Climb and back. We'll be off.
It's just the worst.
Hope you're not
I mean,
getting
it's
too wet back
fun
here.
when you're leveled up higher because it's a nice challenge. There's some colorful things that happen, but for a newbie, it's like, oh, you know, horrible demons demanding human sacrifice, and a cult of cannibals, and a conspiracy that goes to the top of the government, and a cult of people who are different than the other cult trying to take over the city, and you get embroiled into it as soon as you walk in the front door. So I just leave that for later. Alright, so I'm gonna fast travel back to Whiterun, so a little bit to the east. So, like I said, I'll travel to the stables, but I'm not gonna go inside the Markarth city. Falkreath, if you have the DLC Hearthfire, it is for, it gives you the ability to build your own house, which is customizable. It's great for storage, and also it regenerates supplies for you. So it'll regenerate potions and alchemy ingredients and soul gems, which that's a whole other subject we'll go over later.
I can take you to any of the hold capitals.
Even things like firewood.
Where do you want to go?
But it is quite a bit of effort, and you have to have a lot of money in order to do that. It takes a lot of money to buy all the materials and the property and everything. So you can get a house without building it in the, as we call, vanilla Skyrim with no DLCs. But you do have to save up for that as well. The cheapest one is going to be $5,000. It's worth the investment because you get to drop off all the stuff that you're not using right away. And you can save up stolen items and then take them to a fence later. But you don't have to worry about lugging them around with you all the time. Also, let's see.
City of Mark. Where do you want to go?
It's just nice because you can make
Climb and
you can
back
have your
and
own
we'll be
alchemy
off.
table in the first one that you can buy. That's basically all it is. Ooh, ingredients. You'll have your own alchemy table, and you can stockpile a bunch of ingredients so that you're always stocked, but you don't have to carry all the ingredients with you, and you can make any kind of potion that you want there. So, a lot of benefits to having a house. You don't need to make one, and you can't until you're pretty rich, which is one of the goals of this playthrough, is to get you rich and leveled fast. Alright, so no carriage here, but I want to pick up this death bell. It's a great poison ingredient, hence the name. Alright, wait, why am I going in the wrong direction? I'm sorry. Alright. I promise I know where things are in Skyrim. I really do. Alright, so if you look in the northwest, and we're about to take the carriage there in just a moment, that is Solitude, which is the capital of Skyrim. The High King was there. His name was Torrig. Ulfric challenged him to a duel, used, as they call it, the shout, or the voice. Not the shout, but the voice, or shouting, dragon shouting, at him.
Need a ride?
And
where do you want to go?
Killed him, knowing that there was no way he would be able to withstand it.
Climb and back.
I'm just going to go there since I was mentioning it. Knowing that there was no way that Torrig could withstand him, he's just a young kid, and, you know, it was kind of a dirty trick because it's basically like he wanted to be High King, and he just got him out of the way, even though it was like legal because it was a duel. Nobody was happy about it, except maybe his followers, who think that Skyrim needs to be more proactive in fighting the Empire, and via the Empire, the Aldmeri Dominion, but they don't actually really want a war with the Aldmeri Dominion because they know they would lose. They just don't want to have to be controlled by it, so they're fighting the Empire instead, which, in my opinion, is a really dumb idea, because it's just not going to work. If you were listening earlier, I don't know, actually, you know what, I didn't go through those dialogue options. Just so you know,
take you to any of the... Where do you want to go?
Alvor, the uncle that
Climb
we
and back, and
met
we'll
in
be off.
Riverwood, he was mentioning that
If you've never been to
after
Rift,
the
be
treaty
sure to
with the
visit
High
Black
Elves
Friar
that
Museum.
outlawed Talos worship,
Mugs of dads
it wasn't
and
really a big
all.
deal. Everybody kind of kept worshiping him anyway, but it was like, you know, just privately in their homes, things like that. But then Ulfric came around and started making a lot of noise about it, and that's when they cracked down and started like killing people for it, dragging people off. The Falmor are the worst. They really are terrible, but Stormcloaks are racist and oppressive too, so I'm not really sure that it's better. I feel like the Empire are just the middlemen that everybody's blaming.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
Alright. Alright, Whiterun, I've already been there.
Climb and back,
Windhelm
and we'll be off.
is in the northeast, and that is
Ready to go yet?
where Ulfric is Jarl. He's the head of that hold, which is called Eastmarch. But Windhelm is the capital. Trolls are, when you're leveled up, they're not so bad, but at the beginning, they're really just, they're gonna whip your ass. Don't mess with them if you can avoid it. And let's see. So, as I said, Ulfric started agitating, and then people started getting dragged off, and then he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna take this opportunity to kill the High King and try to take this entire country for myself. Is this the Khajiit? It is a Khajiit.
I welcome you, friend. How may I
Yay!
serve you?
I thought it was Maik. Maik is a character you will meet. He's really funny. But this is a trader who is a Khajiit, as you can see, from elsewhere. They are traveling traders. They're not allowed in the cities because they're viewed as smugglers, and they are kind of touchy about that they're viewed as smugglers and thieves, which is ironic because every time you talk to them, they always have illegal goods, and they later make an alliance with the Thieves Guild. So it's basically all true, but
Take
never
a look.
mind. So if you'll take a look here, let's see, moon sugar, that's illegal in Skyrim, so just so you know. Alright, do I have anything in here I want to sell? I think I've sold everything that I want to. I should probably read that spell book while I'm here.
The road lead you to warm sands.
Alright. So I think I
Need a ride?
one more place to travel to.
Where do you want to go? Climb and back,
Winterhold.
and we'll be off.
Winterhold is where the College of Winterhold is, as
Oh,
you
steady.
makes sense. You don't know what the college is. If you're new to this, that is the Mages Guild, if you will. There was an actual Mages Guild in earlier games, but at this point in the history of this universe, it no longer exists. But Skyrim has what's called the College of Winterhold, which is where you go if you want to be a mage. Or even if you don't want to be a mage build. I shouldn't say it that way, because you don't have to be a mage build to rise to the top of the College of Winterhold. They'll teach you if you're just a regular run-of-the-mill character. It's definitely a quest line that's worth playing through. You get some benefits there, and it's pretty fun. But there are definitely ones that I think are more fun. So we're going to try to focus on those probably first, but we'll get to the college eventually. Alright, so I think that's everything. So now what I'm going to do is travel all the way back to Whiterun. I've gotten all the major cities out of the way, gotten a couple of fast travel points, and yeah, we're good. I hope I discovered Cutlass Farm. I think I may have missed that one. I didn't walk close enough, but hopefully that's okay, and if not, it's just 20 gold to take a ride back to Solitude. Like I said, sometimes you have to walk up to places a little bit closer to discover them. But that's not a big deal. We've got pretty much everything out of the way. So what I'm going to do now is take a look at my my perk points. I am going to level up my health because my magic starts out higher than everybody else's. So I want to do my health. And hey, I'm leveled up to level 3 already. So I'm going to do stamina as well. So now I have 2 perks. I'm going to go ahead and use one for lockpicking. I have to have 25 for this. We'll work on lockpicking a little bit later. And let's see. At this point, I want to, let's see. Oh yeah. going to use archery here. Because I'm going to use that a lot. And especially if you're not good at it, you need to make every single arrow that hits, you need to make it count. So build up that archery skill and get that perk to make your fight a little bit stronger. So I think that's enough for one stream today. It's been nice doing this. I know nobody's actually watching right now, but if you do watch it later, thanks for staying with me this whole time. This is for the noobs, and I just wanted to share everything that I've learned, because otherwise I feel like all this knowledge is kind of sitting around useless in my brain. But I hope this has been helpful if you're new to Skyrim, and I hope it's been fun, and I'll be back again soon with stream number 2, which will be getting into preparing for big quests and leveling in preparation for quests, but also just for the sake of getting specific skills that you want higher. We'll get into some of that, specifically the things that you can do in a city, like Whiterun or Solitude or wherever. And that's what we're going to go over next time. Please join me again, and thanks for watching. Alright.